back. Many of you have been getting iPhone 16 and 16 Pro models, and you've probably seen that the big new addition for this year is the camera control button. As Apple has shown many times, this new button allows you to open the camera app, it allows you to swipe to change settings, and then you can of course take photos, start videos, etc. Apple also promises the addition of some new features in a future software update. However, I had one important question. What happens when you use a case with your brand new iPhone 16 or 16 Pro? Will using a case make the camera control button feel worse, about the same, or even potentially better? In order to test this, I ended up buying a few different cases. I bought the clear and silicone Apple cases. They're the more expensive ones. And then I also ended up buying a cheaper case from Spigen. Spigen tends to make pretty good products, so I figured why not? Might as well try out one of the cheaper cases as well. So I realized very quickly that there are two basic approaches that case manufacturers will use to deal with the camera control. The first approach, which I think will be on the more expensive cases, is to add a crystal surface to the case itself. This basically acts as a touch-sensitive surface that transmits your swipes and touches from the case down to the camera control on your phone. Manufacturers such as Apple, Beats, and also manufacturers of the more expensive cases, I've already seen that OtterBox has some cases that use this principle. They're probably going to use this crystal surface because it obviously is more difficult to manufacture. But how does it feel? After a few hundred pictures and maybe dozens of videos and playing around with the camera control, I would say that using one of these cases that has a crystal surface on top, I would say that it gives you a very similar experience to using no case at all. So certainly, if you're concerned about protecting your phone while also maintaining the use of the camera control, I would say that one of these cases, such as the silicone case from Apple, I would say that this is a very good choice if you're looking for that balance. Overall, I did not find any major issues with using the camera control when I had the case. I would say it was about the same as using no case at all. Potentially a few times I felt that maybe it was actually even better when using the case. Okay, the second approach that I think manufacturers of cheaper cases are going to use is basically to leave a cutout in the case in the space where the camera control is. So for example, Spigen case, which costs less than a half of the Apple cases, is using this approach. As you can see in this video, you'll see that most of the case looks about the same as any other case from previous iPhones. However, there's a very large cutout where the camera control button is on my iPhone 16 Pro. So basically the idea here is it's a very cheap approach that allows your finger to touch the phone directly. How does this feel? Well, I would say that this probably feels slightly less good compared to having no case at all. Now, I will discuss also one additional thing that you can do to improve this particular Spigen case. And this is something that I've already seen some manufacturers such as OtterBox using on their cheaper cases. Basically, you can cut out this small piece of plastic that is facing you. And I find that once you cut it out, it actually feels even better to interact with the camera control. And the case itself is not really any more loose compared to having this piece of plastic on. So you do maintain the protection, or the majority of the protection as before. However, you do gain a bit of usability not having that piece of plastic getting in the way when you're interacting with the camera control. So then the big question is, what would I recommend for you to purchase? I would say that overall, based on extensive testing and my own personal preferences, of course, I would say that if money is not a major concern, I do recommend that you get one of the cases from Apple or Beats or any other manufacturer that's using this crystal layer, because it does make it much easier to interact with your phone. I would say that there's no difference compared to using the naked phone. Maybe using one of these cases actually makes using the camera control even better in my opinion. So certainly this is a very good approach to use if you wish to protect your phone. However, if you are on a budget, then one of the cases, for example, as I said from Spigen, that is using a cutout, then I think that's a fine choice too. It doesn't necessarily feel as good, I would say, as the other type of case, But again, you're probably paying something like half the price while still being able to use your phone and having it protected. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.